We are back once again to bring you roughly about an hour and a half of Lucha Underground review.
Word. I don't think we're going to talk that long, but yeah.
You never know.
Correct.
I'm just saying, it's the length of time we were watching.
Also correct.
Alright, so this is episode 29 and episode 30. You get a double dose, because we did fall a week behind because of various real-life occurrences.
Oh, blame me for everything, whatever.
I mean, I could have run it solo, so it's technically partially my fault, but mostly yours.
There you go. Yeah, it's all the blame falls on you.
Episode 29 opens up with Phoenix versus Pindar in a quarterfinal matchup.
Phoenix person.
What'd you think of this match?
It's alright. I've honestly seen Phoenix obviously in much better matches. There was some weird little just disconnect between the two that eventually got smoothed out, and like the last third of the match was pretty darn good. So overall, I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, I'd rate it probably about a B. I mean, it was okay. I wouldn't watch it again. It definitely had the WWE plod to it. Of spot, plod, sort of thing. Until the end where they got into a nice little groove. Pindar is not a bad worker. Not a fantastic worker. And Phoenix, of course, is, I would say, one of the top 5 workers in the company.
Phoenix person.
Phoenix does get the win with a double knee to go to the Final Four, which... admittedly, I think was probably maybe one of the weaknesses of this match is that you pretty much knew Phoenix was going to win. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to have Pindar go through to the Final Four. That just,
That's true.
If you were going to send one of the lizards through, it would have had to have been Vibora.
Correct.
The big guy.
My only real gripe about the match is the ferocious choke spot in the corner from Ember Moon, Cobra Moon, Cobra Mundos. That was bad.
Not all that great.
He put him in a fake ass sleeper hold, and he just kind of waggled his arms around medium pace, and eventually she let go.
Yeah, well, it was not good in that regard. So some not good stuff here, but overall, not a bad match. Came together okay. Moving on. We had the Worldwide Underground in Dario's office. This I enjoyed. Mostly because of Jack Evans.
See.
So Jack Evans has once again got his jaw wired shut for the second time.
Yeah, not really sure what's going on with that, but I assume he just got kicked really hard in the face.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's he's somewhat of a botchy wrestler who sometimes, like, he's had a number of facial injuries over the years.
That explains why he looks like
kind of a reason for it. But yeah, he's needing PJ Black to translate for him. Not very well, which was hilarious.
His dog having a vasectomy or something.
Yeah, this is not what I said. And basically the deal is that if they interfere in Johnny Mundo's match later in the night, they will lose an opportunity to win some Aztec gold.
See, in the very next episode, which we will also be talking about.
Indeed, we will. Then we had Prince Puma versus Dante Fox. This was another one. This had a similar problem to the first match where you didn't really buy that Dante Fox was going to go to the Final Four.
No, but after about 3 minutes into the match, you really didn't care either, because this was a fucking great match.
Yeah, no, they brought out all the stops here with some stiff work, some good suplexing action, some good chain wrestling, good intensity. Both men doing some flying stuff. Just really good match. Really, really good pace. Fully enjoyed it.
I think the only downside to the match was like the kicks were.
There were a couple of kicks that were not very good.
There was some fluttery nonsense going on that I didn't really dig, but other than that, this match was quite spectacular.
Puma gets the win with the 630. I'm a little disappointed that the kind of like darker aspects of Puma didn't come out in this match.
Yeah,
didn't really continue that storyline in any way, but we got a really good kind of face versus face match, I suppose, even though really both these guys are tweeners. They work as faces for the most part. And after the match, Killshot came out and hit I'm gonna just gotta call it an overcomplicated move, like kind of one-winged angel setup with like throwing him down.
I'm trying to remember whose finisher, and I've been trying to remember the whole time. It is like a one-winged angel, but it's a little bit different. And I remember somebody used to use it. It was like it's like an electric chair wheelbarrow driver or something like that. And
sounds about right.
I just can't remember who did it. Like the one-winged angel looks fucking deadly and spectacular. Not when the fat ass in NXT does it, but when Kenny Omega does it. This was, overly complicated. I would expect Drago to have this be his finisher, only take about 10 minutes longer to do.
I can take it without the electric, without the up on the shoulders bit, because you get rid of that. It makes it a little more streamlined, a lot more effective. I would be down for that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Killshot also just gets on the mic, says, Dante, you're right. This isn't over yet. So that feud will continue, which I figured it would, because, I mean, we really haven't had any kind of suitable blow-off match.
Yeah, and I don't know. At some point, these guys become a trios team. This is something that I came across on the Wikipedia page
with the Mac.
A year ago or more. So, can we speed that up? Because I want to see that. I want to see that team. I want to see that team wrestle some matches, and I'm getting kind of bored.
This feud definitely has gone probably further than it should have. Not in terms of like match count or anything, but just in terms of time, because a lot of things have gotten in the way of their feud, like various interruptions, such as the Cueto Cup, have led it to go through like basically the whole season.
Indeed. Although now I'm totally referring to it as the Cuerno Cup, just for fun.
King Cuerno all the way.
See.
King Cuernos. Then I think we go to the police office, and Ricky Reyes, Detective Reyes, is watching his matchup with Cage. And,
getting his butt spanked.
Yeah. And his captain wants him to go get the gauntlet from Cage, which he says no, because that would be suicidal. And I'm fine with it. It's no, I'm good. You can send somebody else in SWAT. Yeah, he makes a deal about no man alive could get that away from Cage. We also find out the police know about Cage killing Councilman Delgado.
See.
And so that leads to the obvious idea that either they were going to get some kind of woman to get it off him, or of course Mil Muertes. Which, spoiler, it's Mil.
Woo! You don't know that for sure. Could be Sammy Crane.
That's not untrue, I suppose.
Could go either way.
Well, yeah, but he's alive though.
Much like your younger brother, could go either way.
He seems to be like some kind of immortal being, or like very long-lived being, but he is alive.
Maybe.
Then we move on to Johnny Mundo versus Dragon Azteca Jr. This was a pretty damn good match, and it was good to see a Johnny Mundo match without any run-ins, which was nice.
See.
A couple of not so great moments. Azteca still has some call it hiccups. He has this tendency to like pick up a lot of momentum and then just like stop before doing the move.
Yeah, there were two like really glaring spots where he ran across, hit the ropes, bounced, came charging across the ring, and then stopped at the ropes and it looked like he wanted to like have a conversation with Johnny for a while, and then he did a really sloppy, shitacular Hurricane Rana over the rope, and then got walloped for it. And then later on, he did, what was it? He pulled some sort of move and slammed Johnny on the mat, and then bent way down and patted Johnny a couple times with both hands, and kind of very gingerly stood up, and then did a flip and did his thing. But like, dude, like, come on.
It's kind of weird because, like, the thing is, Azteca Ray Horace is the guy who plays him. Isn't that new to professional wrestling? He shouldn't be this, for lack of a better term, unsure of himself.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's part of his gimmick, because he is supposed to be this dude. He's the successor to El Dragon Azteca. He's the junior. He's a student of Rey Mysterio. He's been portrayed as being not ready yet. So I'm wondering if he's really that damn good that he's playing this as that. Like, is he?
That would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, like, is he literally throwing mistakes into his own matches just to keep in kayfabe?
That'd be pretty cool. I had not really thought of that. So, End of the World gets the win for Johnny Mundo, and then he's got the steel chair on the neck of Azteca. He's going to do the stomp, and Rey Mysterio comes out to make the save. Really interesting kind of ejection seat move by Rey to get Johnny out of the ring. That was kind of
stole my thing. I like it.
That was very neat. So Rey Mysterio with the save, and then Johnny Mundo winds up talking shit to Dominic, Rey Mysterio's son, who's very big.
Fucking huge.
He is big.
Rey Mysterio's son, I swear to God, is 6'4".
Oh man, he's big. So we get a little shoving. Security comes in. Rey Mysterio comes in to chase him off. Winds up getting ambushed by the Worldwide Underground anyway. Beat down a little bit. I will say and this is kind of a wrestling wide thing. It's not a Lucha Underground or this specifically problem. You have a living legend of your business. That's what they build up Rey Mysterio as. Everyone loves him. He's a hero to the people, etc. When the Worldwide Underground attacks him, there should be backup. There just should, by default, be backup. We have seen Azteca come to his rescue before, but there should be more. The entire face locker room should be, or at least the Mexican portion, should be out there defending him. Because this is your hero, this is your icon, this is your Hulk Hogan, your Ric Flair,
Shawn Michaels,
Bret Hart if we're talking Canada. Like there should be some serious cavalry coming to his rescue in the event that a heel faction such as Worldwide Underground attacks him. And this occurs in WWE too, with John Cena not getting back up and so on. It's like it's just wrestling wide kind of annoying that your baby faces are supposed to be liked by the fans. They should also be liked to a degree, not 100%, but they should be liked by the other baby faces enough to have them come to their rescue.
Yep.
So not super happy with that part. And then we finish off with Phoenix walking Melissa Santos to her car and giving her a piggyback ride and talking about his mask. And, of course, Marty the Stalker is watching.
Would like it noted for the record that I would prefer to give her a piggy front ride.
Marty stalking Tina's.
I'm good with it. I mean, he's mostly harmless. I don't understand what anybody's problem is.
He really isn't.
He's fine.
He talks about he's after Phoenix's mask. He wants to take the mask off so that Melissa sees how ugly Phoenix is underneath the mask.
Indeed.
And so that feud's not over. Not that I necessarily have a problem with that, because really, Phoenix hasn't really gotten his revenge in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm just like, are they gonna do another kidnapping angle? They've done a lot of kidnapping, these people.
Yeah, you'd think the police would get involved at some point.
Yeah, like there's a lot of kidnapping from the Martinezes.
Also, I'm trying to figure out if they'll ever go back to the whole Marty Mary Posa angle, which kind of abruptly got dropped.
Well, they don't always work together, but they do occasionally.
No, I meant like their feud.
Oh,
remember,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, one would think that requires a more proper resolution. So, kind of, I guess the downside of this episode is that it highlights, as good as Lucha Underground's storytelling and booking and storylines are, sometimes things get kind of lost in the cracks. And we're seeing that with this and also the Dante Fox kill shot angle.
Yeah, it's a little weird to see stuff just kind of fall off by the wayside, because this is a TV show. It's not like people aren't paying attention to the script. And it's not like they're going, oh, this isn't getting over with the crowd, we'll just drop it. This is a thing that's done behind the scenes that the crowd has no idea it's going on.
Yeah. And the other problem with it, of course, is this is kind of a major angle. Like with the Dante Fox kill shot, okay, you can get away with it because we got the Cueto Cup to distract and everything. Yeah. But like with Marty the Moth, like he attacked his sister. You would think that that's a big deal that they should actually have a fallout from. And additionally, Marty, of course, like badly, like, you know, took out the fork and started, you know, cutting up Phoenix in a rather gory fashion. That seems like something that shouldn't just be dropped like a week later.
Indeed.
So, not particularly great work there. But let's move on to episode 30, which I thought was the superior episode on the night.
Well, you're wrong, but okay.
We opened up with the White Rabbits taking on the Worldwide Underground of Ricky Mandel, Taya, and PJ Black with Jack Evans on dry erase board.
That's Sign Guy Dudley, thank you.
Yeah. Just a couple of things off the bat. Ricky Mandel is really taking this whole Johnny Mundo impersonator gimmick to like the T. Like he's gotten himself in shape.
Yep.
Like the abs are out. Like he's not Mundo, but he's about as close as he's getting.
Yeah,
so that was good.
He's got all the poses down. He's got the timing correct. He's got his hair. He's got the glasses. He's got the whole shenanigans.
I really enjoyed Jack Evans' work on the dry erase board. He would write stuff like came out with like just a lot of random, like, for lack of a better term, like Roadrunner Wild E. Coyote shit on there.
Yeah.
And then later on he wrote on the board, if I was in this match, this would be over already. And then there was a bit where he knocked off, was it Saltador? I think it was Saltador. He knocked Saltador off the turnbuckle and then picked up the dry erase board. It was Paul London. Right. He knocked Paul London off the turnbuckle and grabs the dry erase board and it says, London is falling down.
Yep.
So, good work, good comedy stuff. This match was sloppy as shit. I will say that.
But funny.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a technically proficient wrestling match, this is not the one. Which is disappointing, because I mean, at least 4 of these people are actually pretty talented workers. But yeah, the comedy was great. There was a lot of stuff with Taya's ass, and the rabbits all kind of getting in the corner to receive her, with Paul London going, "We do everything together." So that was good. We also, of course, had the reference to Paul London taking one to make you larger, because of the codpiece.
Indeed.
And the Rabbits actually got a win!
Rather hilariously.
Yeah, I mean, they pinned Mandel, of course, who's just there to take the pin. But yeah, like I said, you know what? This is an example of comedy wrestling done relatively correctly. It made up for the fact that the match itself actually was kind of crap.
Hurtful.
It was. I would have preferred to have Jack Evans in it.
That's possible.
Especially if he took a chair to the face.
I'm good with Sign Guy Evans.
I'm actually really happy with Jaw Wired Suck Jack Evans, actually. I'm very, very happy with this. Then we had they got chewed out backstage back in the locker room by Benji Cook. And Johnny Mundo has a heart of gold, apparently.
It's true, it's a medical condition.
Indeed. I mean, he has a heart that desires gold.
Possibly.
And then we had what I like to call the match of the week. Probably Mil Muertes, Jeremiah Kramer. Take it away, sir. I've been doing all the talking.
It was pretty good, back to you. Oh, I mean, what? This was... How should I put this? Rough. There was a lot of... My only complaint about the match is that it took too long for Jeremiah Crane to get the comeback. Like he took a beating all over the place throughout the arena, thrown back through some staging into the arena area, beat the shit out of Three Ways from Sunday, and then finally, after a while, got to do some offense. And after that, it started to pick up and become a really good match. But it was that first, like, I don't know, maybe even third of the match, maybe? I don't know, maybe only
I think it was quite a third, maybe a quarter.
Yeah, but the first quarter, at least, of the match is just kind of, okay, we understand he's getting his ass kicked. We still understand he's getting his ass, we're fully on board, he's getting his ass kicked, we gotcha. Let's see something new and different, maybe.
It's also, there's only so much ass kicking I can believe he takes before the comeback just becomes unrealistic.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really my only gripe about the match. Other than that, there was a lot of hard-hitting stuff. I'm not a total fan of the round-the-world dropkick thing because it's real easy to counter, and it's real easy for me not to believe that somebody should be, unless it's set up correctly. I don't really buy the fact that somebody's going to sit there the whole time while you run around the ring and the entire arena goes, whoa.
Yeah, you definitely need more of an ass kicking than sometimes occurs. And in this case, it did get countered into a big lariat. So
exactly.
There was that. Probably one of the more brutal choke slams I've seen in a long time. Also, this
God.
match. Oh, Jesus.
I'm thinking that Sammy Cranahan there did something weird or dumb. And there was, what was the move right before the choke slam? I don't remember exactly.
Either.
There was a real brutal move, and then he pulled off a real brutal, like the most brutal choke slam I've ever. It's the only choke slam I've ever seen that I actually believe was a finishing move, not just I'm gonna drop a guy from a height. Like this was a legit. I'm going to clutch your throat as hard as I can and slam you into the ground as hard as I can. It was pretty savage, and I appreciate that about it.
Had to have, of course, 2 table spots, one of which didn't go, I think, as planned, because Crane eats the spear onto the table, and it did not break.
No.
But I guess they decided they really needed to break that table, because then Bill powerbombed him through it.
Yeah. We paid for this table, let's go and get broke.
And then the second table spot went better, although not really great either, because it was, in this case, it was Mill eating it, but he ate it really low and really kind of awkwardly.
I think they both did. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So I gotta give it a D on the table spots. Those didn't work well. But you get some plunder in this match. Both of these guys do really well in street fight elements. Even though like a straight wrestling match between these two would also be pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, Mill gets the win with a flatliner, and then Katrina goes to do the lick of death and actually gives Jeremiah Crane a big smooch. And that earns him another flatliner.
Kick in the head, another flatliner.
Mm-hmm. So that storyline, I'm not sure if that storyline is over.
I don't think so.
Then we had a bit of a weird moment here with an FBI agent paying a visit to Dario Cueto's office. Turns out that he is the new handler from The Order, which I guess is the mystic group that Councilman Delgado worked for.
Possibly.
And I liked him up until the point where he did the Later Gator thing. The Later Gator thing to me was too light.
I would have been fine with it if he does Later Gator thing and then walks out of the office and then Dario just kind of goes, after a while, crocodiles, something like that. Mm-hmm. And that would have tied it all together nicely, would it not?
I would have enjoyed that more, yeah. I'll give you that. I don't know, just not really a fan of that particular line. But otherwise, I mean, I did like the fact that he went from like very serious to very lighthearted very quickly. So good acting work. But basically he's here to keep an eye on the temple and Dario Cueto and Cage specifically. Although apparently Cueto was unaware that Councilman Delgado had been killed.
That seems like something that he would be aware of.
I know, that did seem a little bit weird. And then we have the final quarterfinal matchup in the Cueto Cup. Pentagon Dark versus Tejano.
See.
This was not one of the greater matches. It opened up with a pretty bad botch right away where Tejano just kind of throws himself out of the ring.
Yeah, it was like a flare spot, but accidental.
Yeah.
I don't know if he thought that he was supposed to be doing a splash or something onto Pentagon and then fucked it up, or I don't really know.
I did enjoy the look on Pentagon's face where he just kind of looked at him as he flew over and went, okay.
I guess that's the thing that's happening now.
I guess I have to work with that. Not the greatest match. This was more of an outside storyline match with Famous B and Beautiful Brenda coming down to try to help Tejano. The worst toss by a manager of a foreign object I think I've ever seen with the Golden Horseshoe. Because, yeah, Famous B actually gives Pentagon the horseshoe to smash Tejano with.
Directly to him. It was pretty impressive.
It was pretty bad. So Tejano gets knocked out with the horseshoe, gets pinned, and then, of course, Pentagon is going to break the arm. And Famous B gets in there, and in a pretty brave move for a manager, frankly, gets up in Pentagon's face and actually, stops him from breaking Tejano's arm. But, yeah, Pentagon leaves, and then Pentagon comes back in and is like, and I'm going to break your arm anyways. Bam!
Indeed.
So that's the second time Famous B has gotten his arm broken by Pentagon Dark, whose arm collection becomes less monochromatic. And then he goes away, and Beautiful Brenda is touching B's arm, and B's going, don't touch my arm! And is like screaming and just being, I guess, Brenda in a nutshell. And Pentagon comes back, is like, no, I need additional genders as well. And breaks Brenda's arm.
How many women is he didn't he break? No, it wasn't Evilise. She just keeps hurting her fucking leg. He got all members of the Triad.
-1.
Did he not get Black Lotus again?
No. It's the third girl that beat him didn't get her arm broke.
Okay.
So he broke the first two he faced. He also got Lotus's arm herself. He's gotten... those are the only women I think he's actually gotten the arms of. Prior to tonight, with Brenda, he's threatened to break Melissa Santos' arm, but she's always been saved. No. And he's threatened to break Sexy Star's arm, but she's also been saved. So I don't think he's broken any other women's arms.
I can't think of any. Evilise would be the only one I could think of, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't her. She just keeps breaking her own leg.
Yeah, she's broken her own ankle twice. No arm injuries. No arm injuries for Mariposa or for Taya. So, yeah, I think it's just two members of the Black Lotus Triad plus Black Lotus herself and Brenda.
Could be.
So, there is that. Then we get a bit of a weird scene that I didn't really expect we'd get, storyline-wise. Katrina pays a visit to, I believe it's Captain Vasquez. Reyes is captain, the police captain we see periodically. And the deal is, gods are coming back. That's bad news for not just her, but also Katrina. Katrina's not afraid of the gods, etc., etc. So apparently Katrina's not actually alive. She's like trapped between two planes of existence. And it has something to do with the half medallion that she has, and Vasquez has the other half. And apparently Vasquez is her mother. So...
Yes.
Which is kind of weird, because I thought Katrina was Dario's mom. So does that make Captain Vasquez Dario's grandmother?
No, I think that's just not connected. I think that's just a thing that you and I invented that's not really a thing.
Just a lot of places were referring to her as Katrina Cueto, but I mean, maybe that was just fan fiction that got out of control.
Possibly.
Maybe we'll get an answer to it. But yeah, so basically... Vasquez wants, presumably Mill, but you brought up a good point that it could be Jeremiah Crane, to go after Cage's gauntlet and get it away from him, because that's a gateway to the gods.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting storyline. Very spooky, very, very Lucha Underground in a nutshell. And that's kind of where we leave it off. So let's do a little fantasy booking here. What would you like to see with these storylines going forward?
I would like to see possibly everybody getting injected with Quaaludes and then having to wrestle.
Paul London's gets beat to that already.
Probably. Or an I Quit match between Jack Evans and a mute.
That could be interesting. I would like to see them get the Killshot Dante Fox thing done. Just have like one big, probably Weapons of Mass Destruction match, and then move on to the thing with Mac. Like they kind of make up after it. Bygones be bygones. Let that go. I guess this is the pain of actually knowing where things are going and wanting them to go there. But it also honestly feels like this feud has been going on for too long. So that's another thing.
Yeah, and I'm just, until now, I really wasn't sold on Dante Fox either, because, I mean, he's sufficient in the ring, but until he had the match against Puma, I didn't really care about sufficient, but he showed a lot of stuff going on there, so
I had thought that he was more than sufficient for some time, to be honest.
Well, it's because you've seen every match he's ever had.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it.
You've seen every indie show that has ever existed. Don't try and deny it.
That's definitely not correct. There are certain federations I've never even seen.
Well, fair enough.
So that's what I would do. With the Katrina thing, I mean, the big question is honestly, like, she says that she loves a man and that it's not Mill. And the big question becomes, who the hell is it?
I don't know.
Presumably not Jeremiah Crane. So I would like to see that get stepped up a little bit, I guess, because there's a lot of loose ends with Mil Muertes and Katrina right now. So I would probably deal with that a little bit, and then get back into the Marty Moth stalker gimmick.
Don't worry, I'm sure it all gets explained in Season 4 that comes out in 2032.
Yeah, probably. Sounds about right. Yeah. So, and of course, as far as the Cueto Cup is concerned, I desperately want Pentagon and Phoenix to win the semifinals so we get the brothers in the final. Because
that'd be kind of cool.
That would be a fantastic match.
Indeed.
So, plus, with Mill being involved in so many different storylines, I don't really want him in the final. And I don't really want Prince Puma in the final. Because with Puma, I know he's leaving. I guess, don't get me wrong, I mean, like, everyone's leaving because I think Lucha Underground is going to die. But,
yeah, I was going to say, he's not leaving I don't think he's leaving because no one's doing anything, and they won't let him out of his contract either, so.
Yeah. But, he'd been negotiating, what I mean is he'd been negotiating with WWE for a while, even while this season was shooting. So I can't imagine that he really gets any further than this.
Possibly.
Also, I guess the storyline would have him going for the title. But, I don't know. I'd be okay with that. I don't want Mill to win because there's just too much stuff not involving the title with him. That if he ends up in the title feud, that's too much storyline in one place.
All of the storyline, all of the time.
Yeah. So there's that. So, that's Lucha Underground. We did make it over a half hour, so there you go.
Woo!
And as per usual, get off of Byron's lawn.
Maybe.
That's not even nearly the snappy comeback I was hoping for.
Possibly.